I'm not sure if Rabbi Shulman knew that last year he was going to be starting somewhat of a tradition, but those of you who remember, Rabbi Shulman did speak around this time last year, and if I remember correctly, it was on the eve or the week of the World Series, and I understand that we are holding there as well again.
Yeah, hurry up. Tonight.
So,
Yes.
Rabbi Levine needs to run. I wanted to mention one thought. When I think about the World Series, there is a ball player from the early 90s. His name is Francisco Cabrera. Now, if you don't recognize that name, even if you're a diehard baseball fan, it's not so shocking. But I'm pretty sure that if you go to Atlanta, Georgia, and you find somebody about my age or older that was involved in baseball in the early 90s, they will know right away who is Francisco Cabrera. And it's a little funny because if you go through his career statistics, I think I looked it up recently, he's had 89 hits in his entire career. He was not a very successful baseball player. So why is he so memorable? The answer is because he hit one particular single that left a lasting impression. Now, if you know a little bit about baseball, you know that a single is from the more routine plays in a baseball game. So what could have been so significant about a little single that maybe left a lasting impression? And the answer is because it was Game 7 of the National League Championship Series in 1992. The winner between the Atlanta Braves and the Pittsburgh Pirates was going to move on to lose to the Toronto Blue Jays in the 1992 World Series. Our Torontonians are quite proud. And there were 2 outs, and there was a man on second base, and they pull up this pinch hitter called Francisco Cabrera, and he lined a single, I think, to left field. And Sid Bream, for those of you that remember him, a slow catcher came chugging home, and he slid in, and they won the game. So he did not have a remarkable career, and all he did was hit a big single. But when you do things on the very big stage, when it's an important game, when all the world is watching, so you can do things that are very, very small, and they are memorable, and they're huge. The message I take out of the World Series and the big stage is that we have to remember as Jews, God chose us. We are the chosen people. We have a special neshama, which means that every single thing we do, big or little, is always done on the big stage. So sometimes we think to ourselves, I come out for one little night of learning, what's the big deal? I learned a few words. Or I was nice to somebody, I helped somebody out, I did a small favor for them. What's the big deal? It doesn't have any permanence. But we're mistaken because we have to realize that our lives are on the big stage. There's a stadium filled with malachim. They're looking down at us and they want to know, how am I going to act today? What am I going to do in this moment? How am I going to make this minute count? And if we realize the power of our neshama, if we realize how important we are to the world's existence, if we realize that everything we do is on the big stage, then we will make every moment count and we will make lasting impressions. Thank you very much.